There's a beautiful sefer, the Sefer Koisi Ravoya. He brings over here that there was a Chabad Shluchim, that they were in, I think they were from Canada, but they were coming in somewhere to do some Pe'ilut somewhere. So they were in Florida, and they were on the way somewhere, and they needed gas. So they stopped, they looked for a gas station, they stopped by a gas station. By the gas station, they went into there was a big Magushim, 6'5" guy by the counter, and he sees them with their lavush. He never saw, they were in, before any Yidden lived in Jackson. I don't know if they still live there in Jackson. And he sees them, and he says, "Do you mind coming with me out back?" So they get a little nervous. What does he want? So they followed him out back, and he opens the door, and there's an old man sitting there, and he says, "Hey, he wants to talk to you." So they go and see this old man sitting there, and he looks to be in his 80s. He's wrinkled. He looks like he went through a lot in his life. The guy looks at them, and he says, "Who are you guys?" So they say, "We're shluchim from," whatever they said in English, what a shliach means, from the Lubavitcher Rebbe, from Crown Heights. So he hears that, and he starts crying uncontrollably. It took many minutes for him to get back to himself, and he gets back and says, "I want to tell you something." He says, "I'm an old man, I'm 80 years old. I grew up in Poland, and from a Hasidic shtetl, Hasidic house, Hasidic family. I used to look like you, I was dressed like you, Hasidic schools. I got married, I had a Hasidic house. And then when Hitler Yamach Shemoy came and he took my family and he murdered everybody, my kids, my wife, I lost everything. And I was so miserable. And when I first came to the United States, I came to Williamsburg, and I saw everyone, life going on as usual, people eating schnitzel and whatever. I couldn't handle it. I decided I'm out of here. I did some quick research. What's the furthest I could get from any Jew? And I found Jackson in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, thank you. And he married a shiktzah, and he said, and that big Magushim guy, so that was his lashon, that big Magushim guy that brought you to me, that's one of my sons." So why did I get so emotional? So he said that, I don't remember how long ago it was, but not long ago. He said, I was up at night, I couldn't sleep. So I took the remote and I started channel surfing. And one of the channels, I saw a Hasidic Jew, an old Yid with a white beard. And on the bottom there was captions that said, "This is the Lubavitcher Rebbe from Crown Heights talking to his Hasidim." And he was talking about how the Geula, the Mashiach, is going to come, and there's going to be a gathering in of exiles, and so on. And after saying what was going to happen, he said, "What's the chiddush?" Of course, there's going to be. The pasuk says there's going to be exiles. So what's the chiddush? The chiddush is that the pasuk, Rashi brings it in Parashat Netzavim. It says, "V'shav Hashem lekecha shaluscha." Hashem's going to return your exiles. So it says, "Lios oiches biyad of mamish ish mimkaymed." Hashem is going to grab the hand of each individual mimkaymed from any place that he is. K'inyan shenemar, like it says in Yeshaya, "V'atem taluktu le'echad b'nei Yisrael." V'af b'galuyos v'chulu. Hashem says, "I'm going to gather you one by one, each individual Yid." So what's the chiddush? The chiddush is that you have a Yid who could be out there in Yehupitzville, who thought that he tried cutting all his ties to Yiddishkeit, and he's miserable and he has a lot of tainas, and he tried leaving everything behind and running away. And on him, that's what the pasuk's talking to. Hashem's going to come from house to house and grab each Yid by the house, and he's going to come for you. Wherever you may be, he's going to come for you. And he looked at the screen and he said it, and I knew he was talking to me, and I couldn't believe it. And as soon as he was finished the speech, I couldn't go back to sleep. And I said to myself, who told this Jew in Crown Heights that I'm here? And who told him that I wouldn't be able to sleep? And who told him I was going to turn on the TV? And how did he know to say those exact words to me? And I decided that I have to change something. The next day I called my family in, and I told them, I told my wife, I said, I'm Jewish, I'm Hasidic, I grew up in Poland, I went through the war. I never told them anything. I told them that halachically, you guys are not Jewish, I have nothing to do with any of you. And they looked at me like I fell from the moon, but they felt bad for me. I don't know, maybe he lost his mind, he's in his 80s, whatever. So I told them that one day, because I'm Jewish, one day they're going to come for me. Like the Lubavitcher said, they're going to come for me, and they're going to take me back with them. And I'm going to say goodbye to you, and that's it. And let me know if I'm not available, whatever, let me know when they come. So it must be that when you guys, he turns to the shluchim, when you guys walked into the gas station, and he saw you guys, and I described when I was telling them that I was Hasidish and what that means. They never saw a Jew, they probably never even heard of a Jew. And I described the lavush, and how they look, and so on. So he probably thought that you guys were coming for me. So he said, I want you to meet my father or whatever. So he took you out back. So they listened to this story, and their hair was standing on end. They saw that they were being used as as pawns on a string, puppets. So they canceled their plans wherever it was they were going, and they stayed with him for about a week, and they tried to teach him what they could. They put up mezuzahs and v'chulu v'chulu, and they exchanged numbers, and they stayed in touch for a number of, I don't know how long it was, a year or two, and whatever they could do to help him, bring him closer to Yiddishkeit at the age of 80 something. And then finally one day they get a call from him, and he says, I feel like I really, Baruch Hashem, was able to turn things around, and I want to thank you very, very much. And it was as if he was saying goodbye, and kachav, like a week or two later, he passed away. But the mussar is that the person, no matter where you are, you think you escaped, you think you ran away, you think you gave up on yourself, but there's somebody that didn't give up on you. There's no way. God's not going to leave one soul behind. So don't make it difficult. He's going to come for you. So don't make it difficult, and try reconnect with Shabbos.